Hello and welcome to our episode of FinTech Focus TV with me, Toby Babb. Here we are and today at the TradingTech Conference in London, and it's my great pleasure to be with Niketta from Genesis. Niketta, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So, spectacular day. You guys have been here talking to the good and great of the industry. Will's been up on stage beforehand as well. Let's start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
So, I've got over 20 years experience in capital markets, always working on the vendor side, sort of front to back. Spent most of my career in products, but more recently, after some persuasion from James, have moved into sales, sort of like smart selling world. So
we're progress. I think.
Yeah, we're a technology company. So if you know the technology, it's easier to sell it in theory. So
yeah. And in practice, from everything I'm hearing as well.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about Genesis. A wonderful company. I think it's been some really cool things you're doing. But give us the overview of what Genesis do.
Yeah. So Genesis. So predominantly we build tailored solutions, and we have a few off-the-shelf products as well. But the way we do that is we have a development application platform, which is what we build everything on. So that's sort of our secret sauce. That's where we've got our runtime, which is our security, compliance, scalability, all that kind of stuff. And then we're able to rapidly build solutions using pre-built components, technical and business components. So yeah, we built like over 60 different solutions, some very small, some very large, some things like Neptune Networks and Octora, who I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah,
we've got a fairly large middle office solution as well, which we've got about 10 clients using as well. So yeah.
I think it's so good that it's the adaptability of everything, isn't it? Which I think has become more and more important these days. It's not just this big enterprise product that says take it or leave it, this is how you've got to work around us.
Yep.
It feels to me that it's very tailored and specific to what you guys are doing.
Definitely, yeah. And I think that's where Genesis comes in really well. We're happy to help customers support their existing vendors or replace in-house systems, but it's that sort of like modularization, API first, pulling data in, doing clever things with it. That's what our sweet spot really. We sometimes say we're very good at being the glue.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's Genesis really.
Good place to be. And Genesis were on stage. Will was up there earlier on talking on the panel. Give us some of the takeaways that people wanted to take, could take away from that discussion.
Sort of in line with what we were just talking about really. There's a big move around modularization. So how have we helped customers remove monoliths, create that modern modular tech stack? So as I said, we're API first, so a lot of it's about pulling in good clean data, having single sources of data, feeding that out to nice clean workflow, nice clean UI with logical workflows. That's stuff that we do very well, and that API first architecture allows us to interact with many different systems, in-house vendors, all of that kind of stuff. So that's definitely one of the key takeaways. And then the other item that we were talking about was portals. So we've done a lot with client-facing portals, single dealer portals, whatever you want to call them recently. It works quite well with us. It's one of those like classic tailored solutions where we can interact with in-house trading systems or third-party trading systems like Bloomberg, Fidessa, whatever, and also allow customers to give that tailored approach to their clients as well. Clients are becoming more demanding, and they want more tailored solutions for themselves. So by using Genesis, they can white label those solutions and make sure that it's connecting to all the in-house systems that they needed to and stuff like that. So yeah, we've seen a real growth in the demand around those, and it's something that we really enjoy doing. And
dominating the panel's conversation on it as well.
It seems that way, yes, very much so. Yeah. So great takeaways. Just stuff that we've been talking about for a long time. Buy versus build. Modularization, removal of the monoliths.
It's very much moved to that buy and build, hasn't it?
Buy and build.
Versus seems to be less and less of a relevant conversation these days, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think the really nice thing about it is, we've been talking to people here today. Our firms want their own secret sauce, right? They don't necessarily want us to go and build a quant library for them. But what they do need is they need a way of presenting that, feeding that up, creating workflows around that. So it allows firms, with the sort of resource constraints that everyone has, it allows them to put their people to work on their USPs and then allows us to sort of focus a bit more on the commoditized pieces and stuff like that. And also allowing them to, Murex is a great product, right? But more often than not, they're bent out of shape, with customizations that were never meant to be put in there, and they become unscalable. So help our clients get their vendor solutions back to doing what they should do, and any of the client-specific stuff that they need to deal with, get Genesis to build them a tailored solution, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the other side of things I'm hearing a lot about, I know there's a lot of excitement about internally as well, as this sort of move to AI.
Yes.
I don't think there's a conversation that anyone's had in the industry, let alone in here today, that doesn't have AI mentioned in it somewhere. But you guys are doing some really good practical stuff in that space as well. And I know there is a sort of genuine excitement about what that means for you in the business. So tell us what AI looks like for you.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's sort of like really foundational. We want to use it everywhere. So there's been a lot of hype about AI for a long time, but definitely in the last 12 months, we've really started to see some benefits. So we're using it, in our day-to-day, as employees, we're using it day-to-day. It's very much a key thing within our organization, but we're also using it from a development perspective as well. So we built a lot of tools, some great tooling around MCP, etc., to really aid our development and speed up our development. One of Genesis's USPs is the fact that we can, get time to market at speed, and AI is certainly helping with that. And then really the final piece is there's like 3 areas. Day to day, we're using it, as many are. From a development perspective, we've got some really cool tools around MCP servers and stuff that we're using it with. And then finally getting it into solutions, right? So clients have been coming to saying, what are you doing in AI? What are you doing in your solutions? So we now actually have AI embedded in a number of our solutions. And, that we've got there's a bit of a test that you have to go through. It's not AI for AI's sake. Is this adding value? Can we demonstrate value quickly? What would be the value from a customer? So things like improving operational efficiencies, removing, preventing breaks, so reducing risk. From an operational efficiency perspective, giving them more time, so they're saving time in that, and obviously or costs as well. So it's not AI for AI's sake. We're really looking to make sure that there's a reason for doing it.
I think that's so important, and I'm really interested when you talk about people coming to you and saying, let's look at AI, let's bring AI. What are you doing with AI? It feels to me sometimes that people are saying we need AI, but we don't know what for and where it goes. How are you taking that conversation forward? Because it sounds very patronising, doesn't it, to say that? But I still feel it's very much a commonplace thing, saying, give us AI, we need AI in the boardroom, we need to be talking about it, but not actually saying what does it do and where does it go? You guys must be helping people on that journey as well. Yeah,
we absolutely are. And as I said, we're very careful ourselves not just to do it for AI's sake. So, we're talking to customers with, prospective customers, but also our customers as well, and saying, within these solutions, where would you see AI helping you? So we've just built a POC within one of our big products, TAM, a midlife solution, and it's an allocation assist manager, right? We know clients have a lot of issues with breaks, matching from an allocations perspective. So we built an allocation assist using AI, and that's great. I've taken it around a few clients already, and they're loving it. So, and then it's sort of like they're talking about, well, could it do this and could it do this, and you are understanding the value that it's giving them, because that at the end of the day they're really struggling with this. They can't find those trades that the client's screaming at them for, or something like that. So it's very much sort of like making sure that there's value there. We understand where and how the customers will use it, but without just building it for the sake of it. And another key thing as well is that there's a lot of reticence within financial markets around using AI at runtime, understandably. So we've been very careful to make sure that the AI is AI on guardrails, so it's already built within the constraints of the solution. We're also using it from an analytical perspective as well. How can we serve up additional information to the business so that, maybe as an ops user, you're able to go back to your front office and say, hey, X, Y, and Z, but they can get that data really quickly now, as opposed to, plowing through emails or reports and stuff like that. So, it's really exciting, actually. It's very...
It sounds like you can see it from everyone I'm talking to across the business. There's this genuine, palpable excitement about what's capable and what's happening. And what I love listening to is you talking about it from that product background.
Yes.
And I think there's such an important part in this industry of actually listening to your customers. And I think that's where I'm seeing a lot of founders and a lot of good salespeople at the moment who are coming through and thinking with a product first mindset. And that's a really exciting place to be. So let's finish off by just talking about Genesis.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's lots of this innovation happening within it. It's been a year of lots happened over the last couple of years in a very positive way. Tell us what that looks like and what's exciting for 26, 27 and beyond.
Yeah, so absolutely, there's been a lot of change over the last year or so. So I think for us, it's just been a real focus. So we've sort of gone back to our roots. We are a solutions business. We have this application development platform, but we build solutions on top of that. And I think that focus is really exciting because now we have the confidence to go out to our clients and be like, we build tailored solutions. Tell us your problems and we can solve them for you. And here are all the examples we've got. We've built something like 60 or 70 solutions now. So we've got a big catalogue of things to go through. So that's really exciting, and having that freedom to know that is what we're doing. That's great. But also the AI side of it as well. Having that piece to sort of really, it's really like a sort of cherry on the cake to me. It's like we built these great solutions, but now we've got this extra bit coming in as well, which is really cool. And just using it's with it being all the way across the board as well. It's not just in our solutions; it's within our development tooling and all that kind of stuff. So a really good story around that. And also for us, this buy and build piece, modularization, it's just really exciting for Genesis because we are API first and it fits very well for us. So yeah, lots of things going on. We hoping to have a really successful year. The year started off really well so far. So
here as well.
Yeah, so
good times.
Yeah, good times. Yeah.
Niketta, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Toby.
And thank you all for watching. We will see you soon on the next episode of FinTech Focus TV. Thanks a lot.